Happy holidays, everybody. It's great to be back. We have an awesome show planned for you tonight. We have a full panel of great guests. I'm not going to wait any longer. Let's bring them in. First off, let's bring in my co-host, Papa Brad.
Hey, what's happening? Glad to be here.
Steps Gaming.
Hey, I'm here.
Nix is MIA. I think he might have drank a little bit too much
Eggnog,
yes, or smoked a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried calling him. He didn't answer.
No, I think he is completely passed out. Like
Comatose.
I plan on being before the end of this show tonight. But look, let's not wait any longer. We have some great guests tonight. Let's give it up for the Cornercade.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
BiggggyD's Arcade.
What's up, everybody?
PD7.
Hey, guys.
And just waking up from his coma, let's say hi to Nix.
Hey!
All right.
Hey, he made it.
Well, this is going to be a fun show tonight. We have, by the way, Rexer will be here. He's running a little bit late, but he should pop in at some point or another. We'll have him on. I'm looking forward to having Rexer on the show. Tonight is a special holiday episode of the Friday Night Arcade Show. We're going to be discussing 3 topics, and we hope everybody that's joined us in the chat room, we appreciate it, that you also join in on the conversation. We'll be covering 3 topics tonight. The first one, which I have written down here in front of me, is we're going to be discussing our favorite retro gaming memories from the past that we always remember. After that, we are going to be getting into our current favorite retro gaming memory, kind of like from the times when Arcade1Up started to show up, iArcade, AtGames, and all these great products that we have in our homes now. And then we are going to finish it off by giving each other gifts. The topic will be, if I could give a panel member a gift, what would it be? And we're going to kind of like pass that on, and everybody's going to give out stuff. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Doing excellent. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Everybody's asleep. Wake the hell up, people.
Absolutely.
It's the holiday time. Can we get a let's go at least from Cornercade?
Guys, let's go do it.
Every time you say that tonight, I'm going to play that video. Or maybe you don't even have to say it. We'll just play that for an hour and we'll just get out of here. We'll make it real easy.
Let's
for
go.
Yeah, let's go.
You don't count steps. Only when Cornercade says it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that all night. All right, so let's quickly get into our first topic of the evening. Again, if you're joining us in the chat room, please feel free to also put in your favorite retro gaming memory from the past. Who wants to start this off tonight? Not me, because I want to sit back and enjoy my beer. What do you think? I invited 8 people on here tonight.
Okay, I can
Who wants to
start.
take it first?
Let me go. All right. So this is
Steps,
one.
tell us about a retro gaming memory from past holiday season that you will always remember.
I will always remember this one because it's kind of embarrassing and I regret it. But anyway, so I wanted a Sega Dreamcast, okay? And it's interesting because most of the time I got a console, I like went and I shoveled driveways or did something to get that console. But this one I got for Christmas, and so I got a Dreamcast. I think I got Soul Calibur and NFL 2K. And one of the other gifts I got was a generic controller. Okay, not the main controller, not the name brand controller. And I remember I got really upset and angry that I got this
This doesn't
generic
sound like a good memory.
generic controller. No, it's not.
System for its time. But I just remember being blown away, always blown away by the back then you would buy your games based on the artwork on the box, you know? The games never lived up to it, but at that time we were just so amazed to be able to just be able to manipulate something on a TV screen. You know, that was good enough for us. So I'll always remember that. Another one, if I'm bringing it into the 90s, it was during the time that I was living in South Florida. And this is when you would go to the malls during the holiday season and you would be literally shoulder to shoulder with people. It was jam-packed. And PD7, you recently put out a video that really hits hard, like showing like what malls are now.
I know.
Because I just remember like the mall was the place to be. And a memory that sticks out for me was the huge excitement I had to get my Sega Genesis. The Sega CD for my Sega Genesis had the whole Tower of Power. And that was the first time I ever was going to have like an arcade system that had a CD, and you had games like Night Trap. Like I couldn't believe that you were actually seeing actual people on the screen, and Sewer Shark. So I that for some reason that the memory of that time sticks out to me, and just enjoying being in the mall, walking around, going to the different they would have you had EB Games at that time, Electronics Boutique. So just going into those stores, looking at all the games, and just being so excited to get myself the Sega CD, which I absolutely loved.
You remember Babbage's?
I don't.
No?
Yeah, I remember
They
Babbage's.
sold computer games in the mall.
We have
They
a
did.
super chat coming in from my buddy Ichabod Crane. I'm sure you guys know this, but I had a magical TurboGrafx Christmas when I was 12. Yeah, TurboGrafx. I never had the actual TurboGrafx. I had the Turbo Express. That was also something I had picked up in the early 90s. One day it just decided to not turn on anymore, so I threw it out, not realizing years later that was a normal thing. Just like get a few things fixed on the board, and I could have had I had the whole thing, the box in mint condition and everything, and I just tossed it.
That thing's so valuable now.
All right, who wants to also talk about a memory from the past during the holidays related to a retro game?
I could go next. So when I was like a little kid, I pretty much grew up like in my grandpa's bar. And the family would always be there for the holidays. So like we would celebrate Christmas. My grandpa owned a bar, and up top is where he lived. And so we would celebrate Christmas downstairs in the bar, turn on all the lights. It was very like cool, magical. He had everything lit up. The tree would be down there. The gifts would be down there. My first arcade I ever played was Capcom Bowling. And as a child, I played the shit out of that. Quarter after quarter, my grandpa would give me, and I would just coin up, and just keep playing it. And then I think that really like propelled me into getting my first ever console for Christmas, which was my Super Nintendo, which I absolutely loved. And that started pretty much the love of gaming, console gaming and arcade gaming. And it's cool to like now be in this hobby and to circle back into the world of arcades. So.
All right, so who wants to go next? Brad, you want to take?
$1989 or 1990 when the Power Glove came out, and I asked my aunt for Christmas for the Power Glove, and we went to Toys R Us, actually really close to the last mall I was at, no longer there now, but she went inside, I waited in the car, and she came out double bagged. The Power Glove was in there, like we all knew it, and I got that for Christmas. And it turns out that the Power Glove is just terrible to play, right? I mean, trying to operate Mario Brothers with your thumb and index finger, but I'll never forget getting the Power Glove that year, and I wish I would have kept on, held on to it. That was a good one.
Precursor to the Wii.
Biggie's mic is off. No wonder he's been quiet the whole time.
Sorry, guys. Retro gaming memory. Best one would probably be when I got my Super Nintendo. Christmas, whatever year was that? Was that 92 that it came out?
91, 92.
Can't
Yeah, around
remember
that time.
what year that was. 90. It must have been 91. Yeah, December of 91. That Christmas day, I'd gotten Super Nintendo, Street Fighter 2. Of course, it came with Mario World, and then my friend had F-Zero, and we just really loved for that month or two right after getting our SNES. It was just like gamer heaven for us as kids. I never owned a Genesis, but I had a Super Nintendo, and nothing beat that Street Fighter 2 on that SNES.
Yeah.
I remember the first time turning on Super Nintendo, putting on Mario, and just being absolutely blown away, especially by the sounds, like the echoing. It was just, what an amazing system. It still holds up to this day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that
Nick's-
original Mario World for SNES was one of the best.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's
Oh,
crazy.
Brad, you got the box.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
Brooklyn.
Steps, turn it around.
I
and hold it up to the camera.
actually have a memory. I guess time has passed long
What is
enough where I
that?
can't be arrested
turn it-
anymore.
Hold it
Um,
up to the camera. I remember looking at these pictures. And
Have
I'm
you
like,
held
oh my
on
God,
to
I wanna
that?
get that one and that one.
I actually bought my Super Nintendo
This is my original. My
all in
original
quarters.
Nice.
No kidding. I literally went into the store
Wow,
and bought
holy cow.
the Super Nintendo completely in quarters that we had obtained by breaking into arcade machines in Brooklyn and stealing all the quarters. That's how I mean, it's long enough. I'm not going to get in trouble for it anymore, but you do stupid stuff when you're a kid.
Yeah, I just remember
What did you do with your
Christmas
your first
I got
Nintendo
that
when you got
SNES.
when you got your
Um,
Super Nintendo?
I kept it. I got rid of my Nintendo for such a silly reason. Like over the years, you remember how the Nintendo would just get like discolored and it would kind of turn orange? So just it doing that naturally was, I just didn't like it anymore. So I just got rid of it. And now I regret it. I sold all of my older, all my old
I do
retro
too.
consoles. I had everything literally since the 2600. I owned pretty much everything besides a Neo Geo.
Hey, Brooklyn. I gotta tell my Nintendo story why I don't have my regular Nintendo anymore. I was in college, and my friends wanted me to babysit them while they were getting high on shrooms, and they broke my Nintendo. My original Nintendo. And so it was broken, and then I had these games and a power glove and a power pad, like all the stuff. And I sold it all because the Nintendo was broken. And that's how I got rid of my regular Nintendo. And that's why I cherish this and I keep this, because I don't have anything else left. That's all I got is my Super Nintendo.
We're depressing the audience. Well, hey, that's what the Friday Night Arcade Show is all about. If you don't leave here depressed, then I feel like I've done something wrong. We still didn't hear from Brad and Nix. Brad.
I'm going to tell a story. In 1978, it was Christmas, and I had the flu. I had a really high temperature, and I remember I was laying on the sofa, and I woke up, and in front of me was an Odyssey 2. That was 1978. So that was my first video game console. And I had Odyssey 2 and a game that was like a version of Space Invaders called, what was it called? Alien Invaders Plus. And I hooked that mug up to a black and white TV set with those goofy ass Odyssey joysticks. And I was never happier because it was my first video game machine. The only place I'd experienced games before that was at, the occasional time I saw them at a store, my mom would give me a quarter, or my dad. So that was a really powerful memory for me. That's a really good memory. Playing, getting my first video game machine. So
yeah, Brad and I are old enough that we remember when you had to turn the TV to channel 3.
Yeah.
Console games.
It's black and white.
They did that on regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo too, when you had the RF modulator or whatever the heck it was called.
The thing I remember.
that would keep our attention is like, do you remember, Brad, you're probably old enough to remember the car that was on a steering, it was like a steering wheel that you you steered a plastic car, and it was just a track.
It had like a track. Yeah,
a circle.
Mechanical. Yeah,
I'd be on that thing for hours.
Tommy thing.
Like,
Tommy made those, I think.
I just saw one of those.
I had one of those. That we used to play the football game that was just a red dot that you had to get to the other side of the screen. Like, you know, that's what we had back then. So it's amazing. It really is, in like such a short time where we are now.
What we have today is incredible. We're in a golden age of arcades and having video games at home. Things have never been as good as we have it today.
Yeah,
I can't tell if Nix is frozen, but Nix is there he is. He's not frozen.
Absolutely.
Nix, so we're talking, what is as far as if you go back into the past, like a favorite retro gaming memory, something that you got during the holiday season that
it's pretty much almost every winter, because that's the best time to get consoles and video games, and that's usually what I would get every year, is either a video game console or games for it. Going back to Atari 2600, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like all the way through, and so I always look forward to Christmas every morning. And just getting ready to play like the next game that I asked for or something like that. So yeah, that's great.
Nothing is better than having like the lights low in your living room or wherever you play your game, having like your holiday time of year. It's always been about gaming for me. A crazy thing happened. Jason, he's there in the chat, and Brad did a giveaway, and Jason provided the giveaway of one of the 2600 plus systems, and I was lucky enough to win it. So it showed up, and it was so great to set that up and actually play like Atari games on the stick, and then have my son, who was about the same age when I got my first 2600, be able to be there and enjoy that with me. And it's crazy, like, even, you know, he's growing up in the modern age with everything that we have now, but that still kept his attention, you know. So that was a cool little moment. And again, thank you, Papa Brad, for that giveaway, and thank you so much, Jason Little Alien.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really dope, man, because like kids nowadays, they have such advanced technology that, you know, you see these Atari graphics and you're just like what is that? But for your son and yourself to bond over something like that you did as a kid, that's what I want to teach my kids. That's why I have the arcade. You know, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, and man, it's really fun.
So Brooklyn, I thought of it really actually the best Christmas memory that I have. My son, he's 12, but anyway, at the time he was younger. He was 3.
Do you notice that, like, even with having this retro stuff in the house, that it does still draw in the kids' attention? Even though, like I said, stuff is light years ahead of this now, for some reason, the way these games were designed, like, when I'm playing it, like, my son will definitely get sucked in and want to try, and we'll have a great time playing, like, these older retro games.
My son will definitely play them, but, like, as he got older, he turned more to more modern things. So, like, if I play a retro game, I have to talk him into it. It's like, let's play Super Mario Kart. And I go, I mean the original Super Mario Kart. He'd much rather play, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or with all the. But he's crazy because he's got, like, he's got an Atari 2600. He's got a GameCube. He's got a Nintendo 64 his own. That's green. That I bought off eBay, and we took it apart and fixed it. And I made him clean it. So yeah, I mean, he likes those games, but I think if he had a choice, he would prefer more modern.
Holiday season with some of the newer stuff that's available, and I can definitely start it off. I just remember a couple of years back, I had my iArcade. I was getting my first Legends Ultimate and the pinball. Everything was just showing up at once, and I was building up this home arcade, and it was just so exciting when all of these great things were showing up at my house and setting them up. And that's something that recently that stands out to me is just we're lucky, for people that if you're a fan of an arcade, whoever dreamt that we would be able to, have these smaller replicas in our house and be able to play all of these games. Now I know things you'd be able to emulate on a computer, but that personally for me, that never does it for me. Standing up in front of something that's an arcade machine with an arcade joystick and buttons and playing those same games, that makes all the difference. Having my Atari 12-in-1 with the GRS spinner and trackball and playing those games that way, that's the way I want to play these games. So I was definitely grateful for the time when, especially when it was just brand new and all of this stuff was new to us to be able to have it. I still remember the first time walking into a Walmart and seeing one of the first Arcade1Ups there. The whole control deck was rubbed out because that was before they had the deck protectors on there.
Balls are always missing. People would take the ball off the top.
Sticks broken off, but I was I have to have one of these.
The problem is they weren't on the risers, so they were so low, and it's just they look so small.
Yeah, they look kind of silly off the riser. But yeah, back then you had the choice. They didn't come with the riser at all. But the first one I bought did. I bought the Atari 12-in-1, which came with the riser in the box. And yeah, it makes all the difference just having it up on the riser. And it was a little unplayable when I first got it, and I did have. There is a very early video on my channel showing my experience turning on my Arcade1Up 12-in-1 on Christmas Eve for the first time, and it bricked. It's yeah, so that was my first Arcade1Up experience. Literally turned it on, it bricked, and that was it. It was just a huge paperweight. But I bought it at Kohl's. I brought it back. I forgot to bring the riser back, but I did bring the rest of it back and got a new one, fortunately. And it's still, you can't see it in frame, but it's past the pinball machine, but it's still here. And once I got the GRS spinner and trackball on that thing, I'll never get rid of it. It definitely holds a special place to me. It was my first home arcade. I kept the thing in mint condition, and it's something that I'll always keep. So who else wants to talk about more recent, I'm talking times of home arcades, all the stuff that we have access to now.
Modern, recent memory of retro gaming for me would be Glenn's game deck. Whenever I got this thing installed, just because the controls are so good, it brings it to a whole nother level for me compared to playing on my Arcade1Up. It was really hard for me to play Miss Pac-Man on my Arcade1Up after having these controls because they're so much better. And it's
tell me about it.
How good they are.
Have you never taken apart and modded your Arcade1Ups with better controls?
I put sandwall sticks in before, but this is way better than what I've had with sandwall sticks. So it's just, it's really hard to go back to these joysticks here, whatever these are, even if they are Sanwa. They're not the same.
Do you still have some Sanwa?
Huh?
Do you still have some Sanwa?
Yeah.
Sticks? Have you replaced the springs with some more tension in the springs?
No, I've never gone that far.
Might be worth it, but I think Glenn's deck's awesome. I have it. I was saying, like, it might be better for
I would say it would be Arcade1Up, then At Games, and those controls are next up. And then it was the iArcade controls, and then Glenn's deck. I think that's the best controls I've had yet.
Awesome.
All right, who wants to take this topic next?
Well, mine's got.
I want to see.
Look, I could just keep playing this video all night, and I have no problem. If people aren't going to talk, come on, Danny, tell them, let's go. Wake up, people.
Let's go.
It's the holiday season.
I've talked a lot, so that's why I've been waiting this time.
I can, I'll give the floor to you guys. I can go next. Just kind of jump in here, kind of piggybacking off of what you guys have said. I think it's starting the Cornercade with like my family. The first ever one we got was a MVC one, and my daughter immediately pulled up a chair to it and started playing it. And soon after that, we had our son, and it was the end of that. My wife loved it. I loved it. It reminded me of my childhood. And then we just started getting them. We had 3 in the living room, and it's like, shit, we need to find a space for all these because we want to get more games. And, to this day, every time I turn it on, my kids immediately go grab 2 chairs. They push them up to Fast and Furious, and both of them race against each other. That's their first go-to. And then they start playing Time Crisis, and they just take it from there. It's something that's been really cool. It's really changed my life and my wife's life because we have a passion and a hobby together, which is really, really cool. Not many people can say that. Not many couples can really say that they actually enjoy something together with each other. Usually it's kind of separate things. But I think it's really cool at the end of the day, and it's literally changed the way we're kind of doing things around our house, and it's showing our kids the retro nostalgia from when me and my wife were kids, and I think that's really cool. Anybody, like I said, could pop in a PS5 and play Call of Duty, but like when my son and daughter get older, it's like, hey, you want to play your dad in some Street Fighter or some Killer Instinct? Like, that's really cool. So
Cornercade, it's a very heartwarming story, but they're requesting.
Let's go. We got a $199. Gotta love it. Let's go.
That's right. Let's go.
Let's go.
We also have another super chat coming in from Jason, Little Alien. Let's see what he says. Great show tonight. Love hearing all the memories. Great to end the week. Happy holidays, everybody. That's right. Happy holidays. Hope everybody is enjoying their home arcades, their consoles, their Evercades. I love the Evercade. You guys have an Evercade?
I do. Thanks to Jason, Little Alien.
Yeah, man, Jason is like
Santa Claus,
man. Right?
He's got the
Jason
good
might
stuff.
be Santa Claus. Has anyone
He is
seen him
Santa.
in person?
I think he is Santa Claus.
That is a great story, though, Danny. And you are lucky that you and your wife could share that together, because my wife will not step foot in here. I don't know if she's ever been here. To tell you the truth.
And honestly, I get that a lot, in streams and comments, dude, that's insane. My wife, literally, guys, we are going to be taking the door off of the arcade room to fit another arcade in.
Wow.
So that's she's on board with it. She's like, dude, let's do this. And it's actually really, because think about it, truly think about it. I'm lucky at the end of the day, because none of this would fly, and I would miss out, and kids would miss out too. So you never know something unless you introduce it to people, and they have fun, and we have a blast playing things.
So give us
Your
a
wife
spoiler.
would take the door off to bring more arcades in. Mine would take the door off to throw me and all the arcades out.
Yeah, on the street.
What are you moving in? What's the next arcade?
Oh, we don't know. January CES, we're gonna find some stuff out. I actually have, so realistically, here it's a precursor. I don't want to get off topic, but we took the closet doors off to actually fit 2 more arcades in to continue the row through. So I have 1 more spot in the closet ready to go, and then I'll be taking the door off, and then I got 1 more spot here. And then if I can get the control panel to blitz to a 2-player, I can fit another one in here. So that would give us 3 more spaces.
Yeah, that would help.
Didn't the gold come out, Brad, kind of like close to the holiday season? Because I remember, I know it was winter when I ordered it.
Yeah,
that was also a great time, man. Dude, I was like super excited.
I was too.
Showed up.
I know, but when you were in Chicago, that was like September. Like you had it that long. When did you get the gold?
I didn't. I don't think I had it when I was in Chicago. Not sure. Maybe I did.
When they announced Operation Wolf, that's when I'm getting an Arcade. Like that did it for me.
Yeah, I remember your video that you shot in the mall, and you kind of reminisced about that in your last mall video. That like this was the spot.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad you made that decision, and I'm glad that you never got rid of it. That's one thing. Like I would literally get rid of everything in here. I will not get rid of the arcades.
No.
And even with the company being out of business, like with what the community has done with it, and now with the GRS controller on it, I'm literally on this thing every day, and every day it's like a new surprise. Like I have
if you have
games on
if you have the home arcade to play games, iArcade is a juggernaut right now.
It's crazy.
What can be done with it with the mystery encoder, the gift he gave the community. I mean, it's a great MAME arcade.
And you still have your Space Invaders, right, Brad?
Yeah, I have it right behind me.
They really built a good machine, because like a few different choices, and then yes, we could have been left with whatever we had, but I did have a lot, but it might not have been fair for others that had just jumped in right at the end, and
that's the hard part.
Maybe have something with a few games on it. But it's weird. We buy Arcade1Ups that only have a few games on it too. So if you think about it like that, if you had a couple of games that you like, yes, but it's just endless possibilities now. Like recently, I added the full NES collection to it.
Like all NES,
mind-blowing. Every single NES game
ever NES,
and they look so crystal clear. Have any of you guys put this on your iArcade yet?
No, I purposely didn't.
No, oh dude,
yeah, I don't put console games on my arcades.
But it really, yes, I understand that. And I'm really picky. Like my thing with the iArcade is I wanted to leave it as is. Like I don't want to add new categories that were never there on the original thing. But for the one thing I did for the NES is I did make a Nintendo category, and I kind of redid the artwork a little bit, and it's great, dude. Like the games look and play so well. They look so crystal clear on there. So.
Yeah,
it's just a great system.
Are you talking about the NES games?
Yes.
Yeah, the NES games play good on arcade. I've said that before though, because they had the player's choice and all that, and it plays well with an arcade stick. So does TurboGrafx.
They were 2-button games.
Yeah.
So it's kind of perfect for it. All right, so we heard from me. We heard from Cornercade. Who wants to tackle this subject about
repeat the subject again? I'm sorry.
What was the scrolling on the bottom, Brad? I made it easy for everybody.
Here you go. I will go.
Let's go, Brad.
To tell you the truth, I didn't do it for the chat.
Sorry, I was too busy watching Knicks.
All right, I will go.
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Because I forgot what it was too.
Okay, fine. Read it first.
Tell us about a current retro gaming memory from a recent holiday season. And I said this is kind of like more within the past couple of years.
All right. So 2020, we're going to go to COVID times, I guess. So I did see Arcade1Ups in stores and things like that. And I promised myself I would never buy one until they released X-Men versus Street Fighter, because that was my game. Like I remember working at Block Party. I don't know if you've seen that video on my channel where I worked at the Blockbuster Arcade, but I learned of X-Men versus Street Fighter there, and I love Street Fighter, and then I saw all the X-Men characters in the same game, and it like just was amazing to me. So I pre-ordered that like the minute it went on sale. It was the Marvel Capcom 1 is what I got, because I also wanted Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, because I played that I had it on the Sega Saturn, the Japanese imports, and I wanted it no matter what, and I wanted a legal version. And there was no, like, if it had come out on console, I probably would have bought that, to be honest. But the only way to legally get it was on an Arcade1Up. So I pre-ordered that, and then I got it like right before Christmas. I think like 5 days before Christmas. And, you know, that's how I ended up, I guess, in this community of people, is from that whole thing. And then you get one and they're like tattoos, and then you buy more. And you're like, I need another one and another one and another one. Until I got too many that I got so angry and I sold most of them. You know,
So, let me cut in really quick.
Yeah.
For the intro. Some people call him the Grinch. I call him the #1 Arcade1Up show in the home arcade community.
All right.
Everybody, let's say hello to the Rexer show.
Hey.
Oh,
Better late than never, Rexer.
It's the Grinch.
There he is.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You sound great, man.
Am I loud enough? Okay, good. It's the
Yes,
Grinch.
happy holidays, Rexer. It's great to
Yeah.
have you.
What would a holiday Christmas be without the Grinch, right?
Yeah. Rexer, you missed the first topic, which each of us kind of spoke about a retro gaming memory from the past, something that kind of sticks out. Do you have one that you can think of?
Does it have to be a Christmas one or any?
Just something around the holidays.
Yeah. You know, I don't have a specific Christmas, like, oh, I got a Nintendo, or I got, I remember I got my Nintendo for my birthday, so I do remember that. The only thing, I always got games over holidays, but I will say this. My mom knew I was always, an NHL 94 person. So every year for Christmas, she would get me the next NHL game, So every year I got whatever it was, NHL 96, 97, all the way up to probably, I don't know, 2015, before I was like, okay, I'm good, I have 2019 stuff like that, but so that, that's always, a memory that, my mom always knew, what to get me, and she knew I always would like it. So that's it.
Yes, yeah, that was it. We just didn't hear from you because you were late, but now Steps was in the middle. We're talking about more current retro gaming memories, kind of like from the time when all these home arcade products started coming out, from that time, like something recent. You seem to have more of actual arcades in your house.
Yeah, I never really bought or got as a gift a 1-Up or anything like that, or an At Games. I never got that. The only last thing I can remember that I probably got for Christmas that was gaming related, I actually got a Latte Panda. I asked for that for Christmas, which is just a single board computer to run emulation, and I used that for my multicade. But other than that, just stupid stuff like signs and stuff like that, but never anything else.
Hey,
now I got this guy. This guy's got to get all the gifts,
Chase, what it is, Chase, right?
Yeah, Chase. He wants Pokemon, and what else?
Yeah, I have
Pokemon.
That on order as well. I've literally been hearing that from the second I walked in today.
Yeah, it's all about Pokemon and Fortnite. He is a Fortnite player, and he just loves when I stream. He's always got to come on, and you guys know that.
Yeah,
you got to wait. Are you streaming? And then he's like, yeah. So, but he can't hear what you guys are saying, so I got to relay to him. They all say hi, Chase, and they say Merry Christmas.
We're all behaving
Merry
ourselves
Christmas
tonight, so
yeah.
He actually he played VR golf with us one night.
Yes,
VR
he did.
Golf. He did really
golf.
well.
Awesome.
We weren't behaving ourselves that night, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. He's used to a couple swear words here and there.
Yeah,
so.
it was getting a little rough.
Wait, you said used?
You're used to it. So,
But he did well. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, think about this. Like anybody who picks up that game, they got to know how to hit the ball and hold the button down, do the swing. So we had played a couple times just to make sure he knew what he was doing, before. So I wouldn't have let him jump on if you guys were gonna have to be like, no, do this, because you got to walk up to the ball, you got to position yourself, it's hit the button to recenter.
I'm not the problem. Kev Gret is the problem. Like he literally, he's the potty mouth, man. Like when he misses a putt,
Yeah,
he rages.
he starts cussing.
Yeah, my family and I just like laugh at him. All right, so you were in the middle steps of your recent.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can continue.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, I thought the Marvel vs. Capcom cab, the first one, was a really good one. I wish I would have kept it. I moved on to the MVC2, which didn't pan out for me, but definitely really like that one. And at least I have the PCB for it, and I can play it in my Big Blue now. And lots of memories with that Marvel vs. Capcom 1. And without that, I wouldn't have met all of you. There you go.
That's true. That was one thing, with the home arcade is we all met each other, all people with like same interests. So that's a great part of this. That's what, that was one of the things about putting this show together is like, I just wanted to hang out with, all the people from the community whose content I enjoy and watch every day and just have a conversation. So it's cool meeting people that have similar interests than you, because you do have so many people like you bring up, hey, I got an arcade in my house. They're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
What made you do that?
Yeah, most people you meet don't care about these home arcades.
Yeah,
You kind of realize.
Yeah, most people you meet don't care about these home arcades.
Yeah,
You kind of realize.
Oh, really?
that
Wow.
There's not many of us.
Yeah.
But the ones that are, we're passionate about it. Like,
Well, yeah.
Someone that's real passionate about it is PD7. PD7's always out and about shooting videos, reminding me of like the days when I used to be out there just walking around in stores, like buying stuff. But he brings that home to us on a weekly basis, and sometimes on a daily basis during like Black Friday.
Yeah, there's so much going on right now.
PD7 has literally saved me money because I watch him shop.
Yeah, I watch him shop.
Yeah.
I live vicariously through PD7.
His excitement is contagious.
It
He
is.
literally goes and looks at the same arcade machine in the store 75 times. Like, yo, it's still here.
Hey, that
It
Cornercade
still has the
lasted.
bad screen. But yeah,
That NBA
PD7,
Jam was there for a while. It was kind of sad to see it go.
your excitement for this stuff is definitely contagious. I know I enjoy it. So what recent memory during the holiday season with like stuff that we have now stands out to you?
Well, last year, because my mom and my stepdad had so much fun playing my Golden Tee, we were playing the bowling game on there, and I wanted to get them that for Christmas, but it didn't drop. Cornercade, I know you got a great deal on yours. I think you got yours for like $315, like Best Buy had it. I missed out on that, but Attack from Mars Pinball came in at $399, like literally like exactly this time last year, and I got that for him for Christmas. And my stepdad used to play this little pinball machine that you just put on a counter like in 1991, and I knew he would love to have a pinball, and that's what I got him, and they have a lot of fun playing it. And every time I go there, I play Attack from Mars. Nothing necessarily for me, home arcade for Christmas. I can't like recall like what I got last year this time, but you know me, I'm just like buying it July, November. But my mom and my stepdad, that was a good memory.
About you, BiggggyD?
I already said, the getting Glenn's deck, his game deck.
Yeah, that's a very recent memory.
Yeah, that was huge for me. That was like a game changer when I got that, because I hadn't really experienced good controls on a home arcade before, other than the ad games, and this was a lot better than that. And just having like everything, having the trackball, the spinners, joystick buttons, and then also having the ability to put a light gun with USB ports on the front. It's just all around gives you a good experience. And so I'd say that's probably recent retro gaming experience I can think of that was something I really remember.
That trackball is the best trackball I've ever used on anything. any device. It's
There is one better.
really awesome. There
the
is
one that, yes, the one he made for the Atari 12-in-1 is definitely better. And it's a larger trackball as well. Same thing with the spinner. It's incredible on there. It's so weighty. You spin that thing, it just keeps spinning. So it's great for Tempest. Brad, you haven't tackled this topic yet. Brad, you definitely must have a memory. I mean, look at all that stuff behind Brad.
And I love it all, though. I love it all, you know.
He loves it.
I mean, I love it all. I love it. Probably my best memories, though, are like, you know, just enjoying playing some games, you know, have my grandkids over, you know, whether it's combat or, you know, letting them try different arcade games they never heard of. That's probably the best memory for me. Having a home arcade, having so many choices, living in like a golden age where we have pretty much at our fingertips any game we want to play.
The night is going to be, each panel guest is going to, we'll start this off at random. I was going to put a wheel, but I literally ran out of time putting the show together. If you can give one panel member a retro gaming gift, what would it be? This can be anything. They will ask me early, wait, do I actually have to give the gift? No, this is all just
fictional gifts.
You know, if, okay?
Is there a price limit? Is there a?
There is no price limit, Rexer. So if you want to start out, you can pick one of the panel guests and say what you think that they need that you would want to give them.
Let's see here. I'll pick PD7. And I'm going to give him. I'm going to get him I'll source him a real Donkey Kong arcade so he can get the feel of what a real arcade is like. Because I know he's a big 1-up guy, you know, and he's got all these emulation machines and everything behind him. I'm going to give him a real Donkey Kong as a gift so he can experience the greatest game of all time.
Thank you, Rexer.
All right.
Well, PD7, I mean, Rexer just gave you such a great gift. So I think
I'm looking at the one right.
Real Donkey Kong.
I'm looking at it right behind you, man. I mean, that's.
What would you give Rexer?
It's hard to compete with Donkey Kong.
You'd give
but you know
return
what?
gift of a 1-up, you know, right? Isn't that the right thing to do?
Some coal in a stocking.
Just because I love 1-up so much, man. I mean, I guess I'd have to get you that $299 HS5 Street Fighter 2 cab, you know?
There we go.
Everybody should have the new deluxe.
Hey, Brooklyn, can I go next?
Sure.
I would love to give one of these the steps.
Oh,
so she can join us when we play golf. Because I miss her hanging out with us, but so she could play Quest 3 and she could play these cool virtual reality games that we've been playing.
Awesome! Are you trying to send my tax refund before I get it?
Yeah. If I could give a gift, if I could afford it, I would love to gift her a VR headset so she
appreciate that.
Mainly so she could play with us. And I miss just the hanging out with people. That's the best part of being in this community and playing these arcade games or now virtual reality games. Just the friendships I've made. That's probably the thing I'm most grateful for from the home arcade community. Made a lot of good, real friends.
Got the Quest 2. Could she still golf with you guys, or do you have to have the Quest 3?
You do not have to have it. It's crossplay. These were supposed to be retro gifts, but you know, when it comes to VR, you can give that.
You gonna pass?
Steps. What would you give to Brad?
Man, Brad's got so much stuff.
You got too much already. I don't need anything. I'm like Rex. I don't need anything.
Not an awful lot, really, but I think if I could give him anything, if I had won the lottery, I would get him a I had to be really good looking and really well taken care of, but a legit centipede cabinet.
Oof,
because it would make him and his wife very happy.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. I love centipede.
You know I got one.
I love centipede.
Brad. Do I have to put it in my will for you, Brad? When
put it in your will for me. Yeah, I'll take good care of it, Rexer. I will cherish that centipede. I love that game.
All right, so someone who hasn't been picked, who wants to go next? Who wants to give one of us here on the panel that hasn't received anything yet. So far, everyone's gotten great stuff.
All right, just to have some fun here, I'm gonna gift Rexer a gift, okay? And
Damn,
Rexer,
Rexer's getting everything.
I'm gonna come in hard, and this year when it comes out, I'm gonna get you an XL Mortal Kombat cap from Arcade1Up. Let's go.
Now that's not a bad gift.
Let's go.
That's not bad. All right.
Hold on, he said. Cover Chase's eyes.
Yeah,
All right, we're back. Well, what would you give back to the Cornercade?
What, Cornercade's got a lot of stuff. I've seen him playing with the wife, so he likes to play, right? He likes to play. Do you have an at games though? I don't know.
Nope.
I'll get you an ALU then. I'll get him an ALU. I'll give him the 4K. I'll even get you the new 4K at Games Legend. There you go.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That'll be his multi-cade. We'll get him, and we'll put some. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to put coin ops on it, but we'll figure out some way to get you everything you need.
They're gonna have some way to get games on that thing.
That coin ops for at games is really cool. I wish I knew what I was doing with that and get stuff like that.
The awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go next. I mean, I'm kind of like tossed up between picking Cornercade and Rexer because my present might backfire if I give it to Rexer. It might backfire if I give it to either of them, but screw it. I'll just do it. I would like to give Rexer a Gen 1 with the Mystery and Code mod installed and the GRS deck, so he can load it up with games, and hopefully it doesn't bite me because he would see what a great machine it is, and maybe try to play Donkey Kong on that and see how close it is to the legit thing.
That's a
Same
Gen
thing
1
with your Cornercade. If I gave you one,
Gen
if
1...
I gave you one thing, you need an arcade in your game room.
Okay. Well, I know it's a great machine. I've played them both. I've played the Gen 1. I played the Gen 2 or the Gold. What do they call it? The Gold. And I was always positive on the Arcade. I thought it was a good machine, well built. Never had an issue with it. So I appreciate that gift. I'll take it.
And I would give Papa Brad an Evercade.
Yes.
I think Brad
I
needs
would
an
love
Evercade,
that.
man. The Evercade, man, I sat down the other night, like I talked about earlier, all the holiday lights on, popped on the TV, sat back. That thing has like a really long cord on the controller, just kicked back on the couch and played through the entire full void. Like the first ever one game cartridge that ever came out. And I just had such a great time from beginning to end. And I want other people to experience that as well.
I think we need to give Cornercade a Gen 1 iArcade with the Mystery Encoder mod.
I said I would give him
preloaded with all the games, man.
I
thought you chose Rexer
You don't have to
over
do anything.
him.
All you have to do is turn it on.
I was trying to shill him
Once
to
the
get
games are on it, you're
freaking
set.
an iArcade a while back, and I think he was right.
Guys, I was really close.
He was close.
I think it was like
That
$3.99
Retromania. You were close on that one.
Yeah,
He was close,
really looking
but
at that.
he didn't pull the trigger.
Wizard of Walls, I would love to play that game. It looks super fun. There's a couple games on there that look really cool. I just at the time I was like, I didn't pull the trigger. I just didn't. I think the one thing holding me back on it, and I know it sounds silly, but it was kind of like not having a light up marquee. And I know you can put like a box on top to light it up, like SD has. But I just never did. And then shortly after, they just went under, and I was like, wow, that would have sucked if I got it and then not have the support for it. But then it turns around where Mystery Coder came out with all this cool stuff, and now it's like a really cool multi-cade. So
yeah, I don't think if the community wasn't as passionate about the machine as it was, it would have just been left as is, dead. You have what you have. I would have been okay because I had so many games. Come on, Danny, look behind me. Look at that light up marquee on that Space Invaders.
Oh yeah, like the Arcade Gold looks.
And you probably know how tall the Ridge Racer is.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same height. That thing is.
But the Retromania doesn't have that marquee. That's
No.
I mean, I
Dude.
get it too.
The speakers make up for it though, especially for $300, and you got those damn loud speakers. My family complains. They're like, "It thinks too loud." I'm like, "It's at volume 1."
All right, Nix, you haven't given a gift out. BiggyD hasn't. So Nix, you can go next. Pick one person on the panel, and if you can give them anything, retro gaming inspired, what would it be?
Well, since you got that new Atari 2600 Plus, get you some like cartridges to actually play on it.
Yes. Could you get me Hero, please?
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
And what would I get? So I have to give Nix a gift back. What would I get? I would probably get Nix an Evercade too. Because you guys have everything else that I have.
I know. Such a
You
expensive.
don't have Evercades.
No, we don't have Evercades.
If you guys like the iArcade, you will like the Evercade. The Evercade has a lot of stuff that the iArcade has, but it also has console games, like real deep cuts, and really good stuff on there.
But it's like what you said. It's like I want to stand in front of an arcade when I play. Like that's the thing with me.
I'm the same way. That's
So you're right on that. I don't play like if I have a game on the Evercade that I have on the iArcade or any other of my home arcades, I don't play those. But the console ones are perfect on that. You got that retro controller, really comfortable, gives you a super long cord so you could like kick back. I have 2 Evercade Verse. I just got the new Duke Nukem Edition 1 Verse, and I have the Evercade EXP limited edition, but I love playing on the Evercade VS. You put 2 carts in there, pop it on easily on any TV in your house, and you're ready to go.
Can we all get together and get BiggyD a casino-cade? Because BiggyD kept my game. I'll get
He was shilling for it.
casino-cade. I'll take it.
I'm gonna get BiggyD anything to fill out that space behind him.
Right.
And that gap behind him. Everyone has the arcade room. The arcade room's totally out of space. They're jealous of BiggyD.
That's not going to cut it, BiggyD.
Where's
They're all
Fast?
jealous of his. He has an open gap.
Where's Fast and Furious going, Beggy?
That I'm gonna probably put over here.
Not in the gap.
Move these
We'll
down.
keep that gap there. Why do you? That's his shtick.
Yeah, you always have like a little space behind me, but
Maybe
it's gonna definitely get a little more cramped because
What
I'm gonna
about
put
pong
Fast
table,
and the Furious
Biggie?
down at the end here.
Get that pong table right in there with a couple bar stools, man. A couple stools. That'd be nice.
Casino-cade.
But yeah, I would do a casino-cade if I could get one for like 200. I'd probably
we
do
all
it
gotta
just to
pitch
have
in
something
and
different.
You got to get it one at full price because that'll be BiggyD's first price cab he's ever had. Everything else has been
You didn't give out your holiday gift yet to one of the
Okay,
panel
yeah.
members.
So I was gonna give a gift to Cornercade,
Thank
but
you. Let's
At
go.
Games
Come on,
was
give him
already
shit
given to
tonight.
him. iArcade's been given to him. So what's left? And it would have to be a New Wave Toys, a Ghost and Goblins.
Ooh.
Nice.
That would be so cool, man. Like I think those things
That
are
would
so
complete
cool.
you.
I've never got my hands on them. I think it'd be
Wait.
really cool to have one of those.
Dude,
Wait,
that's
in
a
the
loaded
gap?
gift
In
to
the
get,
gap?
man,
In the
because
gap,
that's going to
there's
start you on a
It's
whole
like
new
hidden behind
addiction.
him. It's like an Easter egg.
He's got
You're literally
he's
going to
got a-
wedge
You know
those
what's to the left
between your
again,
arcade
BiggyD?
one-ups.
It's like an Easter egg.
Like this.
But yeah,
I did not even
that-
get started with those because I
are
knew if
free
it's
gifts
like if I
that-
had one, I'm gonna have to have
I
all
know.
of them.
We can't collect everything, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of my budget, unfortunately. So
I would get
But I would take it as a
PB7, the top parts for the iArcade and the MBSX in the background.
Hey, they're perfect for your countercades, guys. I mean, look at that.
What's my
Perfect.
gift? No one got me anything.
There's one thing we all have in common. We all own an Arcade1Up. Everyone.
Rexer does Rexer own an Arcade1Up? I don't think so.
Did.
yeah,
I don't
you
think
got
so.
I did, but not anymore.
Rexer, when you first
unfortunately.
got your Arcade1Up, like the first day that you set it up, was there
Yeah.
any excitement?
Oh yeah, he was
No,
thrilled.
I bought them for $50 when they were all on $50, and I actually kept them in the box for probably a couple months, and then I set one of them up, and left the other two in the box, and then I modded one for my brother and gave it to him, and then I gave the other one away to Megadan. So I didn't really, like I said, I had that final fight and I never played it. I maybe once I played one of the games, I think 1942 or something. And it just, unfortunately, it just sat there, I mean, if it was my only machine, it would have got played, but it's one of those things where when you have, and I always say, when you have other stuff, like people say, why don't you play virtual pinball anymore? Right. And I'm like, because if I have an hour to play pinball, I'm playing that thing behind me. I'm not playing virtual pinball. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not going to do it.
We got two turns.
Well, I do have two, but you to get the point is what I'm saying is I just had other stuff to play. Right. So, if you have a 1-up and I'm sure you guys would be the same, because if you guys had Stearns instead of, Arcade1Up, pinballs, or if you had real arcades instead of,
I know, but you might get sick of the real. I'm not gonna knock the pinball, but the real arcades, like the one game, like you might want to play something else. Like if you had X-Men, for example, like eventually you're gonna get sick of playing X-Men.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but again, I have a nice multicade, so I'm like, I got that. But here's the thing: is as an adult, I don't have that much time to play to get sick of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if I played it every single day, which I try to, but I don't because I just don't have time, then I could see you getting sick of one pinball or something like that. And then but if I get tired of pinball, I just go to one of these things and play, or I go to my, Pi 4 and play, or I go to my Mister and play, or I go to my Golden Tee and play, or I go to something else and play. There's just so much. Somebody said paralysis by something, I forget. Somebody was saying that. I don't know if it was one of you guys, but overload paralysis, where you have too many stuff.
Too much choice. Too much choice.
You don't play anything, or you just play like one thing, and you're like,
You've got a real Golden Tee golf. You've got Foo Fighter pinball. You've got Jurassic Park pinball. You've got
real Donkey Kong Jr.
Donkey Kong Jr. I got a whole bunch of crap in the garage too that nobody even knows I have. I got a ton of
track
stuff.
And field, right?
So I got track and field. I got a centipede. I got a Tato. I got a Missile Command. I got a Mortal Kombat 2 actually. So I got a lot of stuff down there in the garage as well that I try and play, but so yeah. There's just a lot. I mean, then you got Glenn's Flight Stick. You want to play some, you got that. And luckily I don't have light guns like you guys. That's another thing you guys can spend a year playing, You got the retro shooter. You could spend a year just playing, light gun games.
Yep.
So,
and then they've got better light guns, the gun for IR, which is a little more expensive, step up.
Yeah. Hey, Brooklyn, do you have an analog pocket?
I don't.
I would get you an analog pocket with the TurboGrafx adapter so that you could play your TurboGrafx Express games again.
Awesome. Steps, I'd also get you a Quest 3.
There we go. Two votes for getting Steps VR.
Yeah,
now, Carl, sorry, I got to butt in here because I got to butt in real quick for Carl. Now he says no 720. Is that the skateboard game that he's talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, my buddy down the street has one. So it's funny you say that because every time I go over there and I look at it, I don't play it, but I think he's got that one because he's got a whole garage full of crap too. So, but anyway, sorry to get off track.
And this is the best time of year to play games. And I'm grateful to be able to get together and talk with all you great people, all of you that put out great YouTube content that I enjoy watching so much. You guys make my days better, my time on the road when I'm working more entertaining. And I just want to thank everybody for coming here tonight and covering these topics. Also want to thank everyone that showed up in the chat room to watch the show. And that's about it. Anybody want to say their goodbyes?
Yeah, is Friday night arcade show back for good, or is this just tonight?
I plead the fifth. I don't know. As God's Wrath 2 just came out. But I did announce I do have a brand new VR solo show coming with all my bells and whistles. That this will not be a StreamYard show. It's going to be more of a high-tech show. And I'm also going to be announcing an Evercade-inspired podcast that I will also be bringing in 2024. So I should be busy, and I'll probably have no time anymore to play anything. I've taken a break for a while. I've really been just enjoying, playing my VR games on the weekend. It's so easy, a lot of work. I know just a lot of work goes into putting these shows together, getting everything organized. I kind of do everything myself from scratch, so it takes a while, and it eats into my gaming time.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take up time and take away from your gaming. So I understand that, but I do miss the Friday Night Arcade Show. Something I look forward to each Friday.
Well, hey, you never know. Tune in next Friday. We might be back again. We'll see. But this was a great show, and again, I really appreciate everybody showing up tonight. You're all people in this community that I respect, and like I said, I really enjoy all your takes on home arcades and everything that you're putting out there. Cornercade, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, let's kick it off with a let's go. I really do appreciate, Brooklyn, you having me on. It gets me and in front of a whole new audience, not everybody watches each other's stuff. I know there's a lot of iArcade fans in here, so it's really cool to like to die for. He's never been in any of my streams, so he probably doesn't even know who I am. So it's cool to see some people in the chat here and see new faces, and then familiar faces as well. Jason, Little Alien, so it's really cool. Carlo, Andy's Game Room, Paul Barris, I always see him in the Rexer show kind of thing. So it's really cool to be able to mix everybody together. It was a really cool, fun show. And we'll have to do it again sometime.
There must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy.
PD7.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for having me on, for watching, and I really appreciate you bringing me on, Brooklyn, and for being there since day one. You too, Brad.
Thank you.
Yep. I've been watching PD7 pretty much since day one.
Oh yeah, me too.
I've enjoyed what you put out there. Rexer.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Brooklyn. I always like going on other people's shows because I don't have to do any work. I just put the mic on and the camera and show up. It makes it easy. So I appreciate that and coming on to be able to talk. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. And take some time with the family, play your games, and, don't take everything so seriously that I say. All right?
Nix.
Well, absolutely. Definitely thanks for having me on and everything, and definitely enjoy being on these shows and making content too, especially recently with the VR when we all get together last with the walkabout and the Among Us streams that we did.
Those are fun.
Definitely looking to see what 2024 has to bring us all, for sure.
Any parting words? Steps?
Any parting words? It's me. It's my turn. Okay. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, and I hope that everyone gets to ring in the new year with a great celebration, and make sure that you're subscribed with the notification bells on to Steps Gaming. No. Brooklyn Menace. How about that?
Man, shout out to Goofyfoot. Goofyfoot's not playing tonight.
Not playing
around.
Jeez,
Merry
thank
Christmas,
you so much,
Brooklyn.
Goofyfoot.
Wow.
Greatly appreciated. Let's see what Goofyfoot has to say here. $49.99 super chat, man.
Wow.
I will forever be a shill. Love all of you, no matter what games you like or hate. We all have more than we can play in a lifetime. That is true. No better place spending time doing that than with everyone here in the chat. Yeah, I really do agree with that sentiment. Thank you so much, but have a great holiday.
Merry Christmas. I am so grateful to be part of this community, having fun, playing some games, Thank you so much for having me on, Brooklyn.
Thank you. Again, thanks to everybody on the panel. Stick around. There's going to be a little bit of an outro going on. And what can I say? We'll see you next time, whenever that might be, right
Next
here. We'll see on the Friday night
Next
arcade
time is
show.
the next time.
Happy holidays, everybody.